Dear students, last lecture related to chemical and physical change and reactions. Emphasis given to learn the chart or say the table by heart for all the time to come, understand the formula of the compounds. Now, today topic is balanced chemical equations. Now, the balanced chemical equations here, a balanced chemical equation is that in which the total number of atoms of which elements are equal to both sides of the equations. According to the law of conservation, mass cannot be created neither be destroyed during the chemical reaction. A chemical reaction shows change of reactant to product through an arrow. Here it is arrow in between them. Suppose here it is the reaction is written here. This reactant is left hand side and the products are written in the right hand side. In between these two there is arrow mark. It means that from here to here between them. Reactant are written on the left hand side LHS of the arrow with a plus sign between them. Similarly, on the right hand side RHS products are written with the plus sign between them. Now here you see in the reactant there is a plus sign in between the sodium and the water. This sign shows the react with, means sodium react with water. This sign represent like this, and the product the NaOH and plus H2. Here plus sign shows that sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. Now you see the difference between the plus sign in the reactant and the product. Here the sodium react, when the sodium react with the water, it forms sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. Here is the reactant is always written on the left hand side and the product is always written on the right hand side. In between the reactant and the product there is an arrow mark in between both of them. Now it is clear. Now here you see the balancing of chemical equations. Now balancing chemical equation. Unbalanced chemical equation. Sodium when react with the water, it forms sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. Now here the sodium and water is reactant and the sodium hydroxide and the hydrogen is product. Now here is the chart how you will balance the chemical equations. The element number of atoms in the reactant on LHS means LHS stand for left hand side and the number of atoms in products RHS means right hand side. Now element sodium, hydrogen and oxygen. The three elements sodium, hydrogen and oxygen, sodium, hydrogen and oxygen. These three elements is written on the symbol of the element under the element. Now number of atoms in reactant means LHS. Sodium is 1, hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 1 in the reactant. In the product you see the sodium is 1 and hydrogen is 3 because H2 and H here. The 3 hydrogen atom is number of atom in the product is 3 and the oxygen is 1. Now here balancing first element, only the hydrogen atom is not balanced in this equations, in this reaction. The hydrogen gas is not balanced, hydrogen is not balanced. To know, we know that the reactant is always equal to the product. Now remember this is the means it is the key point that the reactant will always equal to the product. Suppose you will take 1 kg of potato and half kg of tomato will cook and the product will be 1.5 kg because the reactant is 1.5 kg, the product will be the 1.5 kg. It means that the reactant will always equal to the product. Now balance, here it is the balance chart. Now atoms of hydrogen initially state in the reactant in the product. Now initially hydrogen in reactant, you see in reactant hydrogen is 2 H2O and in the product the hydrogen atom is 3 and NOH and the hydrogen atom H2. Now the two balance 2 into 2 the hydrogen atom, here you see the balance here 2 into 2 is 4 hydrogen in reactant and the product that the 2 NOH2 means 2 NO, 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen and 2 hydrogen means 4 hydrogen and 2 sodium and 2 oxygen. Here you see this is the balanced chemical equation here. Now for clarity you go through the book and do practice 4 or 5 times, and if it is unable to how will you balance, go through the back book and you will solve the reaction how to balance the unbalanced equation to the balance. Now the next lecture shall relate to more information about the chemical equation. That's all for today. Thanks.